Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. StarTale is up 3-0 against NSHoSeo. The next player is Sun, and he is up against Bomber. The map is going to be Calm Before the Storm.
That's right, and man, Bomber is on a tear right now. Sun definitely has his work cut out for him. It's going to be hard for him to come back against Bomber. Again, Bomber just with a ridiculously good Terran versus Protoss. He is so good at the matchup. Now, of course, we did see him, make some mistakes with that rush that he did last game. It was held off beautifully by Sage, but Bomber is not completely infallible. Just who's going to make less mistakes? Yeah, I was right. 75% win rate Bomber has against Protoss. So good.
Not bad. We'll see how he is going to fare against Sun. Calm Before the Storm is the 4th map in today's clan war, NSHoSeo against the StarTale. Who is going to be the victor in this GSTL war? Find out in just a few seconds, as the game has already started, and we'll jump into the 4th match in just a few. Here he is at the top left of the map. We have the new challenger in this 4th game. We have our Protoss play in the red color. It is
NSHoSeo, Sun!
That's right. Will he be able to succeed where Sage failed? He is up against Terran player. So StarTale is up against the player starting at the bottom right in the blue color.
StarTale, Bomber!
StarTale Bomber. So good. And I really, really hope that Bomber... Hey, there's those folks we were just talking to from the United States.
Yep, we have a couple of visitors once again. And if you happen to be in Seoul at one point in time, make sure to check out the GOM studio. It's free, you don't have to pay anything. For some reason, some people just assume that it actually costs an entrance fee, but no, it doesn't.
No, it does not. And there's instructions on GOMTV.net on the forums. I'm actually not sure where they are right now. I think it's under the FAQ. There's something about how to get here. It gives you instructions.
You can just Google. The first time that I had to get here is just I Googled for them, and then you will... Well, I think the first or the second link is the GOM instructions how to get here.
Google? What's that?
You can use Bing as well.
And we have another Nexus First build. It seems that the NSHoSeo Protosses like to go for their Nexus Firsts.
Yeah.
And
not only a Nexus First, we have a 14 command center.
Oh yeah, command center first also. There you go.
That's Calm Before the Storm for you, ladies and gentlemen.
It literally the name of the map, Calm Before the Storm. There's always a calm when they macro up to 3 bases or so, and then hopefully we'll see some side storms later.
Yeah. Small problem, by the way, for San now. He's not able to get into the main base of his opponent because his scouting is a bit too late. He was not able to spot Bomber on the first position that he sent his probe to, so with a second supply depot in some position, he just can't get into the main base. He has no idea about what's happening. He can assume that there's some kind of early...
Is he gonna get that SCV? Oh, he might get the SCV!
No.
He's got 1 hit left on it. Ugh. Close.
He saw the late barracks, so if he knows about all the timings, then you should be aware that the barracks was very, very late, which could kinda indicate an early gas first, but the barracks is a little bit too late for that, so he should know that there is
I think he's gonna kill that SCV. He's hunting it down, man. He's gonna kill it because Bomber is not gonna find Son in the bottom left, and when he turns around to send his SCV somewhere else, I think the probe's gonna kill him. We're gonna find out. Is he gonna kill it? Is he gonna kill it? He jukes around. Oh, still alive. Never mind. So close. Oh, every corner it takes, bringing it closer to death. Ah!
That is actually the most exciting thing right now that's happening on the map.
Pretty much. Bomber actually is... This is really interesting. He's actually building a 3rd command center right now.
You can't get so super greedy on Calm Before the Storm. That's what Bomber's doing. You can definitely get away with it. So...
And this... It's interesting he's doing that without even scouting. He's just assuming that Son is expanded and isn't even scouting at all. getting that third command center. A little bit risky, but it's going to pay off.
Yeah, it's definitely going to pay off. We have double refinery now for Bomber after he built his third command center. Now, one and only robotics. He just wants to make sure that there's no kind of sneaky play coming in from Bomber. So with the robotics, he'll be able not only to scout his opponent's main base with an observer, but also defend against Banshees.
No funny stuff.
No shenanigans. Bomber at least planting down a bunker in order to be safe.
Right. It's kind of a cute little pylon being proxied outside of Bomber's base just for scouting information. So if a drop goes around the bottom of the map, he'll be able to see it. Warp in units nearby if need be. And he's scouting the front there with that probe to see if there is another base, see what's going on, but he's not going to find anything there yet.
He has an engineering bay now as well. Oh, I like the warp prism, by the way.
Warp prism. Very cool. Ooh, I wonder if he's going to use that pylon to warp in some zealots, pick them up, and then warp in another round. Get 8 zealots in the expansion or something like that.
That's definitely what he's going to do. He's chrono boosting the warp prism again, so he will just walk down to, well, fly down to the one pylon, then warp in a couple of units. Actually, he's already loading. Oh, he's actually loading in all the...
Oh, 3 sentries and a stalker loaded into that warp prism.
Stalker, exactly.
He's, I guess he's planning on force fielding the ramp to keep the SCVs inside so he can kill them. Very cool. It's not going to pay off because Bomber already has a force of Marines in his supply line just in case of something like this.
Depends on his ability to use the force fields, but Bomber should be safe against it. We have the Twilight Council now, upgrades for Sun and also for Bomber. Here comes the Warp Prism.
Here they come. He's going to drop it in. The Marines respond very quickly, and they're just going to force that Warp Prism out. No damage done.
Very
Nothing
nice
lost,
reaction.
though.
Very nice reaction by Bomber.
Nothing ventured, nothing lost.
Just putting up a little bit of pressure. Not that the opponent stay in his base. Not getting a third base just yet, but he can also use the third mule already.
Free supply depot. Might as well. You know, it's like he's walking down the street and there's a basket in front of the general store. It says free supply depots. He's like, oh, I'll take one. Just grabs a supply depot on his way by, and here comes that warp prism. This is a fake. He's trying to fake him back to draw him back to maybe put pressure on the front. Or maybe he's just scouting, actually.
Yeah, he's not attacking it. He's now just going for the +1/+1, going to get his third base. And also we have Blink lined up. And as the starport is out, I think that Bomber is probably going to try to take control of that small force that is trying to block his ramp in just a few minutes, because he needs the third base now.
Yes, indeed. I mean, he already has that third command center up. No point in not mining from the third base if he has the opportunity to. Both players just getting tons of upgrades right now. Stim's about to finish. Combat shields are on the way. Concussive shells +2 weapons for the Terran. Blink is almost done, as well as the +1 armor. Sorry, with Protoss.
He's going for the Twilight, for the Templar Archive. I like the decision. I like the decision to get High Templar instead of Colossi. He will probably add a bunch of Colossi later on as well, so that he does have the double area of effect damage.
But this map is very wide open. It's hard to catch the Terran in a choke point. So you're going to want to have those storms instead of Colossus. It's going to be a little bit more effective the way this map is structured, since the battles are more likely to happen in the open.
Third base now placed down at the mineral line. For Bomber, that is, and he's getting a lot of upgrades. He's getting combat shield now, +2/+2 is lined up, as is +2 for attack for Sun. He's getting a bunch of Archons now. We have him with, as I said, robotics bay is coming up as well, so that he can add the Colossi to the storms.
You know something funny? Bomber has not technically scouted a single building of Sun yet this game. He actually, you know what? I think he's scouting the top right because he doesn't know where he spawned yet. That's, well, he might have just sent it up there anyway, but Bomber has not actually seen any of his buildings technically yet. It's kind of funny. Of course, he's seen the army a few times, so he knows what's up, but
he's just playing a standard style, and he just used every building so that he couldn't defend against against potential attacks. There's the Warp Prism once again, a big little bit.
Oh,
That was
wow.
too close for comfort.
Yeah, he almost lost that because he thought he'd exited the range of it. Well, Bomber definitely knows where he is by process of elimination, and he's sending an army through the middle of the map towards San's base. What does San have to deal with it? Not a lot. Storm will not be finished in time for this attack.
But +2/+2 probably will. If the StarTale Bomber is waiting another couple of seconds, then it will be finished. And he is going for a drop with 4 Medivacs in the back, but he has to be very, very careful. There is a High Templar for the feedback, but he just saw that an observer scouted his drop, so he unloads all the units, scans once to take down the observer. Does not know yet that there's another one just positioned outside of the natural expansion of
Here he goes in. Storm is 10 seconds from completion, but it's not there in time yet. Will he be able to get a Storm off during this battle? The Zealots charge in. Nice force fields trap some of the Reigns, but the rest are actually protected from the Zealots, and there are no more Templar left for the Storms, even though it just finished, and Bomber is going to roll this force. Mana Mule dropping again for Bomber. Bomber looks like he is going to go 4-0, ladies and gentlemen. Dancing his Marines in front of San's base.
Very anticlimactic game right now.
And now a Colossus pops out, but
the timing was just perfect. No Storm, no Colossi. He could snipe the second base, the third base that is. He's sniping now also the one single Colossi. StarTale Bomber killed so many units. He killed the economy of his opponent, took down 6. Well, 6 probes, which is not all too much, but the third base is dead.
Yeah,
lets his Marines dance and calls the Mana Mules.
Took down the Nexus, that's the important thing. Wow, so Bomber with a huge victory there, and yeah, it was just perfect timing right before Storm finished. If he had waited 15 seconds for that attack, he would have had 2 Storms on him instead of that one ineffectual Archon.
+3/+3 is lined up for both players. We have it for the attack upgrade is nearly completed for Bomber, while San just started his upgrades, but he's in a very bad position now. He has to rebuild his Nexus at the same time. Bomber is trying to get a 4th. He knows just how far ahead he is now. We have him with only 4,700 resources lost, while San lost nearly 8,000. Finally was able to get a couple of units into the third base, but those two, well, those Zealots are not doing all too much damage. There's a force by Bomber, was able to take both of them out. 4th base for Bomber coming up, and he has double starport now in order to deal with his opponent's Colossi.
Yeah, he's getting +1 weapons for those Vikings as well. Very smart, and you know, he just has to balance everything correctly, make sure he has Ghosts for the Templar, make sure he has Vikings for the Colossus, and it could be a delicate sort of a thing to balance that, to make sure you have the right amount of each, but he is doing that, and actually, you know, there's only one... Yeah, actually needs to make sure he doesn't go too overboard with the Vikings and overcommit with those, because there's only one Colossus on the map and he's not making any more. So if he makes too many Vikings, then you know he'll kill the Colossus in half a second, then he'll have a bunch of Vikings sit around being useless.
What we just saw was pretty interesting as well. He caught the Zealots that were sent in order to harass his 4th base and took down the pylon. Bomber is now maxed out, so he can move out and start attacking. He is happy to trade armies anytime now, as he knows that he has a superior economy. +3/+3 is nearly done. +3 attack already is. Cloak for the Ghosts being researched now, and he has a ton of them. He has a ton of Ghosts. He has 7 in total.
Oh! Nice Storm feedbacks a Ghost as well, but he's going in with his own Ghost. EMP on some of the Zealots. There's still... No, there's no Storms left. The Zealots without any shields are all there is. Bomber melts it like a hot knife. A hot knife of bio units through the butter of Protoss army, and GG! StarTale Bomber has won 4 games in a row and has all but secured victory for his team. And San just did not have anything.
As you could see in the last fight, we didn't have any, well, he couldn't throw down any force fields at all. Therefore, the stutter step of Bomber was uncontested, and he didn't have a problem.
It's like, come on, let's do a ceremony. Come on. he's doing like the Marine with his keyboard case as the Bomber, as the Marine, as the gun rather. Sorry about that. got confused watching these guys. That is hilarious. Ace, I like Ace. He's got a personality on him.
StarTale can certainly be happy. They are up 4-0. And
Oh yeah. They've got this in the computer bag. They've got it in the keyboard bag, man.
The next game will be Terran versus Terran.
Yeah, and it's going to be Jockji, yeah, definitely. There's no other choice for NSHoSeo. They have no one else on their team. Well, I mean, Jockji's the only guy left who could possibly save face up against Bomber, and is the only guy on their team who I would really ever hope to do a counter all kill, regardless of who they throw up. So it's definitely going to be Jockji. I mean, we've seen sometimes teams will throw out as their ace someone really unexpected, but I don't know. I mean, like I said, NSHoSeo, they don't have a big roster anyway, so I don't see who else it could be personally.
Well, me neither. Everybody is looking to Jockji right now. He was on camera just a few seconds ago, and everyone is just now looking forward to a Terran versus Terran game, and Jockji has definitely to win a lot of matches. He has to win 5 games in a row if he wants to pull this off.
Yeah.
That's not going to be easy.
No, I mean, Jockji, you know, he's done a couple pretty good things. I heard he like won a GSL or something like that. I think he's pretty good, but even for the best players, it's going to be so tough to play 5 games, win 5 games in a row against players like Bomber. And even if he beats Bomber, you know, he's got Jalai behind that. He's got all kinds of players on the StarTale bench that he would have to go up against.
Parting is a Terran Slayer.
I keep forgetting Parting, and Calder's like, remember Parting?
I love his play.
He's good too. I'm like, I'm sorry, I just forgot about him.
He's in Codes for a reason, and he is just so
Team
strong.
Codes? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm trolling you now.
And he's so good against Terran, so they have a lot of good players that can take down the Terran, and, well, Jockji has his work cut out for him right now. First of all, he has to defeat Bomber. That's the first thing that he has to do.
That's the first thing he has to do, is he actually has to beat Bomber, who is on a freaking winning streak right now. 4 games in a row that he's won, and he is looking really good. He's looking really good. And he's beat one of every matchup already. He's already beaten a Zerga Terran and a couple Protosses.
And he threw down the gauntlet. He wants to play Jockji.
Yeah.
The last game
he called him out.
He was walking up to the bench and was like, you and me now.
It's like, bring it.
Well, Jockji didn't respond, so he just had to take down another player.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to play Jockji. I don't care if they have to go through your whole bench to do it until I get to him.
Where is Jockji?
And I am going to be completely surprised by this. There he is.
He's smiling, and this is the Terran versus Terran game that Bomber asked for. He asked for it, now he's got it. Will he be able to all kill NSHoSeo?
Yeah.
Will Bomber be able to pull it off?
Remember, be careful what you wish for. Will Jockji be more of a challenge for Bomber than the rest of the team has been? Jockji is obviously a very, very good player as well.
And the map is going to be dual side, a very, very small map for this Terran mirror match.
Yep. Now, fortunately for Bomber, Jockji is extremely good at Terran versus Protoss, extremely good at Terran versus Zerg. Not that successful in Terran versus Terran though, so this is, I mean, even though Jockji is their best player, this is not his best matchup, you know? So we're going to have to see what he can bring out. He, of course, beat Boxer recently, but he also lost to the STC.
And there we have the reason why they didn't seed him as the 4th player. 0 win rate as 4th.
There you go. There you go. So, yeah, will Jockji be able to pull it off? He's had only middling success against Terrans. Let's see, yeah, he beat Gumio recently, but then he lost to Ganji, so he's definitely going to have his work cut out for him here.
The 5th game, ladies and gentlemen, in today's clan war. StarTale against NSHoSeo, Bomber against Jockji. Bomber asked for it. Is it more than he can handle? We'll see. Is Bomber able to go for the all kill? It was just so impressive. Dual side is going to be the map. And we will start the game in just a few seconds. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. This is the GSTL.